Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You know how that saying goes, I might disagree with what you say, but I would die for you to be able to say it. So that's kind of like how I see freedom of speech and freedom of expression in a society. Obviously there are some limitations, and I agree with libel, slander, and defamation laws. I also would disagree, and I disagree actually, not would, with speech that incites to violence or hurting people, and also the famous don't yell or scream fire in a movie theater with panic kind of speech. I agree with all that. Other than that, I think that we have the right to insult one another, to verbally assault one another, calling us names, curse at one another. I'm okay with all that, as long as it doesn't become, how should I put it, in a way or another affect someone's psyche. But the right to say things or use certain words should not be infringed. If I think that I should curse in one instance, I should say that without being punished in any way. Obviously there is a lot of mental abuse and psychological abuse, and I'm not talking about that kind of instance here. So I have an article here regarding an issue that I disagree with. I disagree banning people from appearing and speaking in front of crowds. I disagree banning professors being able to go and lecture other people. I disagree with people being able to be invited by some groups of people and be banned for that, or the events banned or closed or whatever because they don't like the speaker. I disagree with this kind of practice. I think it's very tyrannical, and whoever does that shows a very much inclination of tyranny, and it's very dangerous, because that means they try to prevent people to express ideas that they might not agree with, or definitely don't agree with. So that means they want only the correct idea, which they think is their idea. Or it doesn't work that way. The truth, you find truth to debate. That's how you find the truth. To debate, through exchange of ideas, it's a search. It's not one person holds the truth and everybody else should shut up. Well, that's how tyranny starts, among other signs. So this article comes from Fox News, and this is the title: California Berkeley University law school students organizations pledge to boycott Zionist pro-Israel speakers. Okay, I might disagree with the Zionist movement, but what do I have? Let them talk. Maybe they have something to say, and maybe there are some people who fight for some causes. But no, they want to prevent them from talking. Now, I disagree with that. I might disagree, as I said, with the message of the Zionists. Let's say with Zionist message, I might disagree with that, whatever they want to twist it or whenever. But I would allow them to talk wherever they want to talk, as long as they let me talk and everybody else talk. So, student organizations at the University of California, Berkeley School of Law are facing backlash from their own dean after adopting a statement that pledges to not invite any Zionist or pro-Israel speaker to give lectures. Really? Law students, they are law students. So how are they going to be? I mean, if they were, I don't know, dog catchers, I would say, well, man, they're not in the business of interpreting the law or being lawyers, attorneys, or maybe judges one day. But these people? Law students for justice in Palestine at Berkeley Law made an August 21 post on Instagram stating that nine other student organizations have adopted a pro-Palestine bylaw that states that they will not invite speakers who support Zionism or the apartheid state of Israel, end quote. Well, maybe you will not invite, but can another organization invite? Do you allow them to invite? I mean, I understand your position. That's fine. You can have it. You don't want to invite those guys. That's fine. But can other organization in the law school of law, Berkeley, blah blah blah, can they invite, or they are forbidden, verboten? And I'm quoting, in the interest of protecting the safety and welfare of Palestinian students on campus. What about the Jewish students? So it's always two, and it's safety. Why? Words? Words? You might not like the words, you might think they're lies, but they're words. You feel insulted, you need a safe space. You're in college, damn it. You're not in kindergarten anymore. Protecting the safeties. In the name of protection and safety, you gotta wear masks. Okay? And tomorrow you're gonna wear a helmet when you drive a car. For your safety and for protecting the insurance companies. Okay? Not only that stupid thing that goes around your chest, again, right? And you have to wear elbow pads and knee pads, helmet and goggles when you drive the car for your own safety. See how nice we are? I'm sick of this ideology that comes from, I live through that, when the government knows best what's good for you and you don't know. You don't know. And they infringe your liberty, your life. According to some weasels, 5, 7, 8, 10 people, who they tell you how life should be lived. And you cannot do anything because it's going to be illegal and you go to jail. That's a few people who say that. It's not, and even if it's a majority, they should not be able to tell you how to live. If everybody becomes pedophile, a majority in a society becomes pedophile, you have to become a pedophile too. And if you don't get involved in pedophilia, then you go to jail. Is that how it goes? I mean, just because it's a majority, that's why there are some values and there are standards and all that. But when you have a democracy, what can you do? And you say, well, maybe you should move and get your little society. Maybe. So in the interest of, I'm quoting, in the interest of protecting the safety and welfare of Palestinian students on campus, we will not, it said the organization's name, but it didn't put over here, we will not invite speakers that have expressed and continue to hold views, or host, sponsors, promote events in support of Zionism, the apartheid state of Israel, and the occupation of Palestine, end quote. Just the views. You can't have those views. We're not going to allow you to speak. Not allow. We're not going to invite you, which is fine. Which is fine. You don't invite us, that's fine, but can another person invite? Are you gonna, what are you gonna do? Show up and like you do? Law Students for Justice in Palestine at Berkeley Law said that 9 student organizations have adopted the statement which boycotts Zionist speakers from being invited, including the Berkeley Law Muslim Student Association, Middle Eastern, and the North African Law Students Association, Womexen, what the hell is that? Of Color Collective, Asian Pacific American Law Students Association, Queer Caucus, Community Defense Project, Women of Berkeley Law, and Law Students of African Descent. How about Law Students of white descent, Caucasian descent? Do you have any organization along those lines? I guarantee you they don't. The pro-Palestine student organizations is also calling on all student organizations, they call on all student organizations at Berkeley Law to take an anti-racist stand, end quote, by adopting the pro-BDS bylaw. Well, they're going to try to intimidate everybody else. Now, I don't, as I said, I might disagree with, obviously here is a backlash by Rosenstein here, who is misrepresenting Zionism, is anti-Semitic and will never lead to peace. Half of the world's Jewish population are Israel and so on. Well, I don't like this weasel view either, that if you criticize, if you criticize Israel, somehow immediately that's equal to being anti-Semite. I disagree with that too, because I can criticize Romania and I'm not considered anti-Romanian, or I can criticize the Pope and I'm not anti-Catholic or something, and they're going to burn me on the stake nowadays. We got over that. So I don't like that view either. But it's you have to enlighten people. You have to. How do you do this? These are college. and they will be college educated, they will graduate at Berkeley, they will become attorneys, lawyers, judges and others, and they will have to interpret the law. They will have to maneuver through the law, and if they have this kind of preferences and this kind of tyrannical ideas of, no, we're not going to hear the other side of the story or something, that's not going to be good. Imagine those guys will be appointed as a judge, or I don't know, they will win I don't know, elections, they will be put up as a judge somewhere here and there, I don't know. It's just, this is not a good sign, and it comes from the people who should be, blind. Justice is blind. But as a lawyer, you have to have all kind of, you have to win the case, regardless if you know that your client is guilty. You have to win the case. I disagree with this kind of way of, I don't know, dealing with justice. There are attorneys who defend a guy that pays them money, and during the exchange between the client and their attorney, they know that this guy is guilty, but he's going to pursue, so he's going to win. He can't recuse himself. Someone has to defend these guys, but what are you going to do when you find out that actually, and then you win? Your client wins because the other side was not able to prove that this guy is guilty. You say, well, innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, but you as a lawyer, his lawyer, you must know, because you might have more information than everybody else has. And you must, how do you, talk about a rape charge. You know this guy committed that, but these guys can't prove. And then you win the case, and then you go home and you have dinner with your family, drink some wine, and you say, hello, my children, how are you doing? How was your day? How can you do that? Yourself? I think they can live with themselves very well. Otherwise, something would happen with these guys, right? But something is not right in this system. But the same with these guys. They're going to be attorneys and so on, and they will, as I said, they have the right to not invite, but to put pressure. And believe me, the Jewish groups do the same thing. So it's not that only the Palestinian side is doing that. The Jewish groups are doing this, and much, much more, because they have much more power, if you take it as overall, than they have the Palestinians. Look at the United Nations. How many times Israel was condemned, and the United States vetoed it, and nothing happened. And Israel was like, you can't touch me. And it's much more resolutions and condemnation, and didn't matter. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.